Welcome everyone to the U at UCalgary virtual event. Before we get started, I would like to mention that this meeting is being recorded so that students who are unable to be here today can watch our presentation at a later time. My name is Fatima and I'm your MC for today. I'm in my third year of mechanical engineering with a minor in digital engineering, going into my internship year this May. Not too long ago, I was in your shoes. I remember how excited I was to be accepted into the Schulich School of Engineering, but also uncertain as to what to expect. Our goal here today is for you to connect with us to learn more about what Schulich has to offer and to get you excited about the University of Calgary community. There will be a Q&A period at the end of our presentation. However, we encourage you to use the chat function to type in your questions at any point during this presentation. We have Rebecca, Janelle, and Destiny from the Engineering Student Center monitoring the chat, and they can respond to your questions as they come in. You can find the chat function on your control panel, which should be at the bottom of your screen just below the presentation. When you pose a question in the chat box, it will be sent to everyone in the event. We want to make sure we answer as many of your questions as possible, so please send them our way. I would like to start us off in a good way with a traditional land acknowledgement. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta. The city of Calgary is also home to Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. To kick this presentation off, I would now like to introduce Dr. Bill Rosehart, Dean of Schulich School of Engineering.
Thank you, Fatima, and good morning to everyone. Welcome to you at UCalgary 2022. I am so pleased to be part of the team to welcome you to the University of Calgary. Our university's community of students, staff, and faculty make the University of Calgary in the Schulich School of Engineering a nationally and internationally recognized place of excellence. For example, just a few weeks ago, a group of our students won a national engineering competition. Our students do incredible things, have great experiences, and in the process, they learn a lot. So what we want to do, we have a keener, see-do. I would love it if everybody could just put into the chat, if you want your name, where you're from, just say good morning and hello to everybody else who's here today. So let's see you use that chat function. That's great. Congratulations on becoming a Schulich engineering student. Congratulations on moving forward in what will be an exciting new chapter in your lives. Congratulations on taking this step to becoming an engineer, a profession that will give you the knowledge, skills, and experience to have an incredible career and make a true impact in our community. Being an engineering student is going to require a commitment to be successful. With that commitment, so many opportunities will be open to you as students and when you graduate. I'd like to take a moment to ask you again, you've had your warm up in the chat, but I'd like to take a moment now to ask you to think about one thing that you would be looking forward to most about next year here being a student in the Schulich School of Engineering. So somebody get us going, type into the chat, what are you looking forward to most next year? And I'm going to assume it's not final exams. Fatima, were you looking forward to final exams?
No, definitely not. I have 6 courses this semester, so 6 exams coming up in the next month, and I'm not excited.
Fatima and I were chatting a few moments ago about one of her courses in mechanical engineering, where they're actually using machinery to build things so that when they leave the school and they become an engineer and they're doing the design, they have a better understanding of what it's like to actually be, to construct what you will design. Fall orientation is a lot of fun, Denzel, and you get a Schulich scarf as part of that orientation. So it's one of our many fun rituals. Going through the list, I see a lot of things I absolutely agree with. Things that I've seen and hear about is looking forward to creating things in our maker spaces, using our 3D printers, designing new prototypes, and exploring our new digital innovation hub, which we call Zeta. Once you arrive in the fall, I really encourage you to consider joining a team or a club. We have so many students clubs that offer a wide range of activities that will not only broaden your social circle, help you make new contacts, but it really gives you the opportunity to experience more things outside of your classroom. I'm proud to say that Schulich is one of the top engineering schools in Canada, and some of our alumni have become pioneering researchers. They've become medical doctors, entrepreneurs, leaders of major corporations. So when you become a Schulich engineer, the breadth of opportunities that are available for you is phenomenal, not just while you're a student, but when you graduate as well. So I'm confident that your time here at Schulich will be one of the best times in your life, where years from now, you're going to be looking back and reminiscing over many, many happy memories. In the odd long night, getting ready for an exam as well, right, Fatima? It's part of the package. It is truly an honor and a privilege to have you joining the Schulich School of Engineering as future engineering leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Rosehart. Navigating my engineering degree and course requirements has been made easy with academic supports provided through the Engineering Student Center. You can think of this place as a one-stop shop for academic advising. The Engineering Student Center is located in Engineering Block C, room 205, otherwise known as ENC 205. Connecting with the Engineering Student Center is easy. You can join an academic advisor for a chat in person or virtually using the QLES app. Or you can send your questions by email to enginfo@ucalgary.ca. They offer in-person drop-ins on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and additional virtual offerings on Tuesday evening, Thursday morning, and Friday afternoons. All first-year students in the Schulich School of Engineering take the same Common Core program in math, science, computing, engineering principles, design, and communications. This provides a foundation for your engineering training and exposes you to the variety of engineering disciplines from which you will choose your program major for your second year. I would like to now introduce Rebecca Cohen, Senior Advisor, who will provide more information on registration for fall 2022 and winter 2023.
Good morning, everybody. As Fatima said, my name is Rebecca, and I work in the Engineering Student Center team. We wanted to just briefly talk to you about your first year course enrollment. The first and most important thing that you need to know right now, which is very different from other faculties, is that we will do your first year course registration for you using a course block system. This is being done to improve your experience, remove barriers, and to support accurate enrollment. Once you accept your offer and pay the $500 deposit, you will be sent a welcome email and a link to the Common Core confirmation form, along with some detailed information on the blocks. If you have not yet received it, don't worry, we are sending it out each and every week to newly accepted and paid students. The blocks are set up to support you in an active learning environment. Your first year will have a combination of in-person, in-class activities, in addition to self-directed study components, preparation, and practice. You should expect to be involved in school activities Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. with occasional special events and opportunities in the evenings. When your friends and other faculties are waiting for their enrollment window to open in May, you can sit back and know that your course block will be provided for you. We held a session on March 14th to review the engineering registration process and also the active learning concepts. It was recorded and is available for you to review on the Schulich UCalgary site. The address is here in the recording and you'll be able to access it after the fact. But if you are looking, it's on the Future Students undergraduate FAQ tab. In that same location, we will continue to add additional session signups, recordings, and important information throughout the spring and summer to prepare you for the fall. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you all again at future sessions on campus or on campus online, but one way or the other, we look forward to seeing you in the fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. These are the 10 common core classes that every first-year engineering student will take. They provide the foundation for all of your engineering learning. Personally, my favorite first-year course was ENDG 233 because I got to learn Python and create some of my favorite projects. While in your first year, the program placement request process will take place in the middle of the winter term, where you will decide what engineering program you want to pursue. You can earn your degree in biomedical, chemical, civil, electrical, geomatics, mechanical, or software engineering, with sustainability engineering coming soon. You will rank the programs from your most preferred to your least preferred and submit those rankings. We know that getting into the program of your choice is important, and we guarantee your first choice program if you complete your 10 common courses within your first year and are in good standing at the end of your first winter term, which is an annual review GPA of 2.0 or higher. That was information on the Rex Challenge that is happening after this event. Just like it was mentioned by Rex, you will be receiving an email for more instructions on how to win awards. I would now like to talk about the Schulich School of Engineering's extraordinary outside of classroom experiences. In addition to academic support, Schulich supports you to find relevant work experiences that make you stand out to employers and, more importantly, allow you to apply what you've learned in class. Students in their first and second year are eligible to apply for our engineering career practicum program, which provides students with 10 to 16 weeks of paid work terms. Students in their third year can apply for internship to go on 12 to 16 months of paid work placements here in Calgary or around the world. We have students working at Tesla in California, all the way to Switzerland. In the past year, the Engineering Career Center has placed over 560 internships, which was our record year. As a third-year engineering student, I began my own internship hunt in October. Schulich School of Engineering made the internship application process easy. With the Elevate job portal, I had access to over 200 internship postings catered to my major and minor. It was easy to upload my resume, cover letter, and transcripts and set up interviews. After a couple of interviews, I was able to accept my internship offer in November, and I'm excited to be starting in May.
The number one benefit of hiring interns from the University of Calgary is we get top quality talent. They come in fairly well prepared to work, and within a couple months, we can't really tell the difference between an intern and a new grad.
Hiring interns helps our engineering staff develop their teamwork skills as well as their mentoring skills.
The internship office did a great job of making that whole process very smooth and easy.
Modern's very interested in having long-term employment, and we hire interns because of our investment in the future.
We've had a lot of success bringing interns in and turning them into excellent employees.
The Schulich School of Engineering also offers micro-credentials in engineering leadership, engineering entrepreneurship, project management, and mental health and resiliency. The leadership program has 3 tiers, and students who complete all 3 levels will receive a certificate of completion. This program allows students to develop valuable leadership and professional development skills, while also building a network with your peers and with industry. These non-credit certificate programs are optional to add to your degree, but will help you expand your skills outside of the classroom. We will now shift gears from thinking internationally to thinking about Calgary and what makes Schulich School of Engineering unique. We're excited to tell you more about our Maker Multiplex, an experiential environment where you essentially get to play. It's a series of labs where you can bring your ideas to life using new technologies. The Maker Multiplex was launched in 2018 to grow the Maker community on campus and is open to all UCalgary students. You have access to equipment and training to work on your own projects. There's a 3D printer room, metal and wood shop, sound and robotics lab, a welding shop, art and textiles room, and a paint booth. After attending some of the workshops offered, students were able to build smartphone-controlled mini-bots, 3D print parts for class projects, and even learn how to properly fix all broken chargers, all while having a lot of fun, picking up new engineering skills, and connecting with others who have similar interests. It's really the ideal environment for us to share ideas and try experimental projects in a safe space to fail and learn. We will now watch a video to show you the various possibilities that the maker space can be utilized for.
Engineers build things to support students in becoming engineers. We've created our Maker Multiplex where they can do everything from 3D printing to working with metals and woods.
We make these tiny little robotic cars that you can control with a phone using Arduino and adapt cars for toddlers with disabilities. We've come in here to do workshops for students that are coming in. We're currently planning workshops for Girl Guides in here.
All engineering students are really encouraged to get a second level of knowledge, whether it's 3D printing something or learning how to machine something that you've created in SolidWorks. They even teach circuit board design there, and it really supplements your understanding of engineering and what it would be like to work.
Clubs and teams are a great opportunity for students to gain critical, technical, leadership, and professional development skills while participating in a community of support. There are over 80 clubs in engineering, from Engineers Without Borders, Women in Science and Engineering, Schulich Soundstage, and so much more. There really is something for everyone here, like you can build cars, planes, rockets, rovers, motorcycles, you name it, on any of our competition teams. You can also serve many social causes and communities through a ton of clubs and volunteer at any of the events and functions hosted on and off campus. If you have a new initiative in mind, this is the perfect place to establish it. As a member of the executive team for the Women in Science and Engineering, I'm able to create events that empower women in STEM and connect with women in industry. As a part of the Project 90 team, I was able to use technical skills to work on projects that serve and help developing communities while applying my technical skills. So talking about Schulich Wellness. So when you're a busy engineering student, learning more about leadership, jetting away from campus on an international experience, and involved in a club or a team, you also need to take care of yourself. Schulich Wellness is an initiative to support you when you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed and aims to develop your resiliency. Schulich School of Engineering is there for you. Schulich Wellness supports you with having a positive mental health and has a dedicated engineering wellness space where you can enjoy some yoga, meditation, and pet therapy. Benefits of pet therapy include reducing anxiety because it is very calming to pet a puppy. The wellness space offers stress reduction workshops, and it is also a decompression zone where you can relax, chat with a friend, and play a game. Not many places on campus offer a calm and comfortable environment for you to unwind in. Of course, starting at a new school can be intimidating, but fall orientation can help you with that. In September, you will join an orientation group full of students from your block. We will welcome you by giving you your own Schulich scarf, a tradition that our school has partaken in for years. You will also learn the engineering cheer, a song that most Schulich students know, and also complete your first ever engineering design challenge, where you're given a problem to solve, and with a team, create a solution to address that problem. Personally, I had a super enthusiastic orientation leader that showed off all his patches that he put on his Schulich scarf. So I was a lot more excited to be a student at Schulich after orientation. We know it is important to meet your peers and get to know people in your block, but it is also a good opportunity to connect with upper year students through our first year mentoring program. You can ask a mentor questions about courses, professors, general tips for managing your course load, and anything else that comes to your mind. To see short video clips related to everything we've mentioned so far on internship, engineering leadership, global experiences, Maker Multiplex, and Schulich Wellness, please check out our website. We have compiled these videos for you to view at your own time. We have now reached the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for being here today and connecting with us. We hope that this presentation has helped you to see yourself at UCalgary and you've gotten a taste for what life may be like at the Schulich School of Engineering. We would now like to take some time to address any questions or concerns you may have through the chat box. We have Rebecca, Janelle, and Destiny from the Engineering Student Center to continue to respond to your questions. Please go ahead now and start typing in your questions. And also feel free to stay as long as you like and read all the answers. If you don't have questions, you're welcome to leave the meeting whenever you like and enjoy the rest of your day. If you have any questions in the future, please email us at enginfo@ucalgary.ca. Again, please feel free to start typing your questions into the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatima, for a great presentation. We really appreciate you taking the time to share your experiences with us today. We did have some opportunity right now in the Q&A function to put in some questions if you have any. So please take the time. If you have something outstanding that we didn't get to or you were confused about, in the Q&A function. So we'll be using the Q&A function for this portion. So please go ahead and I'll monitor it and see if we have some questions we can answer live, and we can go from there. So let me review some of the questions. So our fall plan and our actually spring and summer plan coming up is planned to be fully in person. So we are lucky enough in our first year to have a blended, but we do have in-person components, and the majority of the university will be back to in-person. So we are thankful to be back to in-person to see everybody's faces in the hallways and at the coffee shops. So that was a question there. Quick question about the combined degree, and it's a great question. So there is an opportunity to go in a BCom engineering combined degree, and you may be admitted in your first year. That combined degree is planned to take 5 years. You do have 8 to complete it. We do highly recommend
in engineering, you finish your first 10 engineering courses, because that is what is required to be placed into your engineering major. After your first year and you're placed in your engineering major into your second, that is when you can start doing your BCom courses, either filling them in, taking an entire term or a year to do them, or planning them around your engineering. You'll find that engineering courses do have a little bit more restrictions, because we do have a heavy prerequisites, meaning you have to take one course in order to move on to another. So luckily we have both BCom and engineering advisors, and we do have actually on a monthly basis a combined advising session, so you can speak to somebody in both the departments. So if that, hopefully that answers your question there. And yes, just to reiterate, the 10 courses all first year engineering students have to take, we will be placing the schedule for you. So what you need to do is just watch your email for a first year Common Core form, complete that form as soon as possible, send it back, and then our schedule will work at getting the courses in the block system. And it was touched on a little bit that the block system kind of puts you together in your group so you can move through all the courses together and work in a team throughout the first year. So the block system definitely helps with that. Quick question about some admissions. So if you do have questions about admissions or finances, that is definitely something that needs to go to the registrar's office or the admissions office. Typically, if you receive an admission letter, in order for your file to be confirmed and transferred over to engineering, you do not need to pay that deposit. Once that deposit is paid, it takes about a week for it to be transferred over, and that's when you'll start getting emails about engineering. So it's always highly recommended you set up your UCalgary email address as soon as possible. And anytime you're communicating with any faculty or department, we highly recommend you use your UCalgary email address and include your UCID number. That is the only way we can access your file. So those are two really important things. So if you've paid your deposit, that is basically welcoming you guys to the team. Bear with me as I scroll through some of the questions. Rebecca and Destiny are also typing away, so you can read your answers as well. How many courses per semester? So the program is depending on the program you move into your second year, but the average is 5 courses per fall and winter term. It is not always 5. Sometimes there is 6, sometimes there is 4. And as I said, you do have the opportunity to spread out these courses. It is scheduled to be completed in 4 years, but you have the opportunity to spread it out. So if you're coming to us as an athlete or as some external reason for reductions, we can definitely help you with that. And at the end of the presentation and on the screen now, EngInfo is the best email to email if you have any questions about that. So your schedule will be created for you. So again, this is a big difference from all other faculties. There are 10 courses that every first year students have to take, and then we create the schedule for you in what we call 10 blocks. So you're going to be assigned to a block. And the really positive thing about this is that those blocks stay through all the fall and winter. So you can work on study time, project time, lecture listening time, and you have those same students all the way through. So it's a huge benefit that we get to have kind of these block system, and you get to meet your students and work with them and walk to the coffee shop together. So those block systems is scheduled for you. You do not have to do anything. Quick question about electives. Now, I don't want to get too deep because electives are definitely later in your plan. We have 2 words we use. We have technical electives. Those are in your 4th year where you actually get to pick courses in your major that you wanted to do. So we can talk about those at a later date. A lot of people use electives and what we call those as complementary studies. So generally speaking, there are 6 complementary studies courses. 4 are engineering specific and 2 are general. So yes, those are required for most programs. We don't recommend that they be done in the first year if you are taking the 10 courses. 5 and 5 is a good course load, but luckily those courses can be taken over spring, summer. Those courses can be taken over your internship year. So you do have opportunities throughout the program to complete these complementary studies courses. There's some questions about IB or AP courses or advanced credit. So that will all be confirmed on the form if you get it. And we do have a process of having the enrollment office access those transcripts, and they give you the credit. So you can check on your student portal in your transfer credit report. That'll show those courses. And in the Common Core confirmation form, there will be a question regarding that. Okay. If you are unsure about the credit, we highly recommend you enroll in all 10 courses. And once the credit has been posted or verified, you can then action a drop of the course. And again, the Engineering Student Center is here to support you in all of these questions. You will get more information as the months go by regarding this, and we'll have information sessions running over the summer too to help you with some of these questions. Again, regardless of how you're coming to us from a high school or from the UC into a transfer program or from another faculty, your first year of engineering courses will be enrolled for you. So let's not confuse your first year of education. This is your first year Eng courses. They will be enrolled for you once you've completed the Common Core confirmation form. A little bit about the minors. There's no minors that are going to be taken in the first year. They will be added either second, third, or fourth year, and you will get this information as the year goes by. So at this time, there are no first year minors. It will only be added to your second, your third, and your fourth year, and you will be advised of the process for this going forward. The form is sent out on a weekly basis. So if you haven't received it, don't worry. We are working through the list. As I said, if you haven't paid your deposit or you've just recently done that, it does take some time for your file to be transferred and then for us to get the email out. So please don't worry if you have not received this form. It will be sent out. I would say in the next month, if you haven't received it, please feel free to email the enginfo@ucalgary.ca and we can verify some information. But once you've received your admission and paid your deposit, please give it a week to 2 weeks before you start getting some information from us. As I also mentioned, the UCalgary email address should be set up right away and you could change it. There is a possibility that personal emails will be blocked or disregarded. So that's a kind of a first step to do is set up your UCalgary email address. That is an IT support. So if you have any problems or issues, please contact our IT support. The Engineering Student Center doesn't have that support set up for that.
Janelle, can I jump in for 1 second?
Of course.
So just to reiterate something that Janelle just said about the sending of the Common Core confirmation form. It did go out slightly later than we originally wanted, but it has gone out to everyone that had accepted their offer and paid their deposit as of the end of day Thursday. So you would have gotten it yesterday on Friday. If you are looking, it would have gone to the address that you have on file. It should be your UCalgary address, but if you haven't yet set up your UCalgary email, it may have gone to your personal address, but we really do need you to switch that over to UCalgary as soon as possible. Because it is a form that includes, well, the form is a survey essentially. It's really critical that if you don't think you received it, please check your junk and clutter folders in whatever email form you're using, because that will really help ensure that you are finding it. We definitely know who it went out to. So if you do feel I missed it, that sort of thing, we can resend you a copy as needed, but it would go to the same location. So it is really important for us that you just check those folders just in case it did route out of your inbox. But everyone who, as of again, Thursday night, had accepted their offer and paid their deposit will have received that form yesterday, Friday, April 8th. April 8th, yes. Okay, thanks.
Great, thanks, Rebecca. And again, you're gonna recognize Rebecca's name as she is the one that's gonna be working through that. So a lot of questions about possibly a varsity plan or a modified plan. Yes, those will be taken into consideration on that form. We do have a varsity program. Those are obvious. That is obviously an exception, or not exception, but an individual program. So there are some individual processes. If you're coming in to us with an additional modified program, we do have that capability to help you with that. So that will be taken into consideration in your Common Core, and you may need to speak with an advisor one-on-one, but at this time, wait for that form to come, fill it out, and then you'll be contacted if additional information is needed or if you need to have an advisor appointment. There was a few questions. Again, bear with me. I'm just kind of reading through the questions. So as a basic standard, our terms are broken into fall and winter. Those are the required terms. Typically, as I said, it's 5 courses per term. And we talk about fall and winter. Spring and summer are optional, but they do have some courses that can be taken if you need to, but those are optional. As I'm just reading through, you may find different blocks have different courses in different terms, and that's just for scheduling purposes. The content is still the same. The information is still the same. So you're still getting the same courses. It just may be, again, different terms have different courses, but the content is still the same. Rebecca, did you want to add something?
I did. I just was reading the questions as well, and I thought I'd scoop up a couple of pieces that people are asking. So do you have to be on campus from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m.? No, you're going to be adults and you get to decide what does your day look like. We are recommending to you and letting you know engineering at Schulich is intended as a full-time program. And so it is really important that you're not thinking, oh, well, if I only have to be in person in a formal class for a handful of hours in a day, that's my entire day. It really isn't. Unlike, the high school that you've gone to or things like that, or whatever other school you may have gone to, where everything is somewhat contained within a set day, and that includes work periods and things, you're going to be really focused on some of those in-person learnings. And then you'll have a whole other raft of work to do. That's really all of the preparation, all of the teamwork, all of the building, all of the use of the maker spaces, things like that. Those are all intended to be in those other sort of informal portions of the day. So you will build what that looks like for yourself. So do you have to be there 8 to 5? Absolutely not. Should it be a really good idea for you to plan to be there for a significant portion of the day and not overcommit yourself to other obligations? That is absolutely what we recommend. And we just want you going into it with that right mindset around the types of times that it will take you in a given week to make sure that you are successful in this degree. And we will be having some seminars that are going to talk about best use of time, not procrastinating, things like that. And those all may be things to really help you set up a slightly different path than you may have had in how you studied in high school, because it is a very different experience. The other thing I wanted to say was, one other question was just, are we going to email out your blocks? Yes, we're not going to just assume that you'll all be completely blindsided and show up in the fall and not know where you're going. Once the blocks are assigned, you will get a follow-up email that tells you which block you're on. It will also give you directions on how you can go and look specifically at how that looks for formal in-class hours, at which point you can start also looking at what you may want to do in some of those other outside of class hours. I'll turn it back over to Janelle are you available to Janelle? Okay, wonderful.
Perfect. I was typing away as well. So a little bit about your program placement. There seems to be some questions about that. So that is what we call applying or ranking or requesting your major into your second year. So for that, you need to have completed, and I'm going to generalize it because you will get more information. The guidelines will come out in October, November, and it's a pretty specific guideline, but I'm going to generalize it. Completion of all 10 first-year courses, so you're 5 and 5, with a 2.0 or better. And that doesn't mean you need a 2.0 in every course. It means you need to have a 2.0 average between fall and winter, will guarantee you into your major. It will not guarantee you into any minors. The minors are typically competitive. So as I say to a lot of my students, we're not going to strive for a 2.0, we're going to strive for a 4.0. Okay, so you're going to do the best you can, and then we will be placing you into your major into your second year. That will be done in June of the following year. So you have some time. Luckily, you have the time to explore some of our majors, talk to some of the program directors, see some of the internship opportunities. So you have some time to make some choices. Usually that ranking, what we call ranking, will be in February. So we can start getting the numbers out to the departments, but 10 clearing, so that is passing at a C- or better of all 10 first year courses, and then an average GPA of 2.0 or better will guarantee you into your program. So regardless if you all want to go into geomatics, then if you all get 2.0 and you've all cleared your courses, then you will all go into geomatics. Okay, and so it's a great way to work with your team and build up your team members, because your first year block people, you may be all be going into different majors, but it's an opportunity to help students in the programs maybe they're not doing as great, and you can and get help on the other side. So luckily for the UC first year students, you get a taste of all the majors. You get to do chemical, you get to do coding, you get to do mechanical, and then you can enforce those choices going into your fall term. Or winter term, sorry. Typically there are no summer options. So this coming summer, so summer 22 and spring 22, unless you're admitted to another faculty, which most of you are probably not, you won't be able to start any courses. Your admission term is fall of 22. Okay. So I will just keep reviewing. As I mentioned, if you're coming to us with a modified program like a varsity, that will be taken care of in the Common Core confirmation form. So we will be working with you to help you with the varsity program or any other modified program that you may need to come with. I see some questions about Math 31. So it is the calculus. Some students don't have the opportunity to take the high school calculus. So it depends on your admissions. Again, this will be covered in the Common Core. We will identify you that way. So you will be identified and told what the process is. Also, if you were admitted under the Bioengineering Institute, so those are an opportunity for students who didn't take physics but excelled or did well in the biology 30. If you are admitted into that, that is an August-long program. Communication will be sent out again regarding that. So if that is something different, these are all kind of different avenues for exception or acceptance. So we will work with you and you'll get information. We're right at the very beginning of this admission process. You will get all this information throughout the next few months and over the summer. A little bit of question about practicum and intern. Rebecca, I can definitely answer it, or if you wanted to jump in. We are lucky enough to have a practicum program or a co-op program where our first and second year students can take the summer months and the opportunity to work and have credit towards a non-credit certificate for the practicum program. Our internship, and which not to be confused with the internship, is after your third year, and it is a 12 to 16 month program where it is a paid internship. So those two programs are separate, but we are lucky enough to have both of them, and they're very successful. So that was a few questions there. If you have credit for a course, like I mentioned, because of AP, IP, advanced placement, post-secondary courses, that will be again taken care of in the Common Core confirmation form. Okay, so let's wait for that form to come out because it has a lot of information and we've hopefully captured all the variety of students that we're going to get. I see Rebecca,
And also, just so you know, I added some additional detail this year to help students sort out the Math 31 question. So absolutely exactly what Janelle said. Please do watch for your Common Core confirmation form, read through it carefully, follow the links if you need to get a little deeper into what any of those terms mean. For some of you, none of them will be relevant. It'll be an extremely easy click, 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 I'm done the form. For a few of you who may have some transfer credits, math considerations, varsity considerations, you may just want to make sure that you have everything in order. If you're thinking this is too simple, I indicated that I'm varsity, but there was no further question. What that's going to do is flag us to subdivide within our team to outreach to you to understand exactly what your needs are. So you basically raise that flag and then we will come back to you because you're in a unique and personal situation and we will work that out directly with you.
Great. Some questions about some stuff that maybe not be in engineering specific, but I will touch a little bit. Resident services, definitely contact them if you have questions. I understand you may be waiting for your approval. Contact them. They have a great department and they are really good at getting back to students right away. Plus their website is really informative. So if you have some questions about resident services, all that, you need to speak to them directly. The same goes for any visa questions. Unfortunately, we're not able to answer any of those questions, but we do have a whole entire department at the university, the International Student Center, specifically for visa questions. So Engineering Student Center cannot answer those questions, but we do have a department specifically trained and educated in those questions. So you'll need to contact them directly. If you search the UCalgary website, there is a search box in the right top hand corner. And ultimately, if you put any kind of keyword in there, it's going to take you directly to that website or a couple of links that you can click on. So please use the UCalgary website and it can send you to the right departments. Ali might be able to answer this question, or Nicole, where is this recording going to be posted or accessible after?
I will post a link in the chat where we will put the recording on our website within Schulich, and then the central team will also be posting on the UCalgary website.
Perfect. A little bit about admissions. As I mentioned, the admissions office or the registrar's office is where you need to answer any questions about that. As a standard statement, we don't have a percentage for admissions because we are a competitive faculty, which means we don't know who you're competing with. So we're not sure. So as I said, you're going to do your best. You're going to do what you can do to keep your grades up as high as possible. And either the 100% or the 4.0 is the goal. So we don't supply any of that information or post it anywhere. And it will just depend on who's competing, who's applying, how quickly the program fills up. So hopefully you'll hear back soon. But if you have those kinds of questions, the registrar's office or the admissions office, which are the same, would be the best place because they review all transcripts. The Engineering Student Center doesn't review international transcripts or local transcripts. Those are all sent to the registrar's office. If there is some engineering questions, they would come to us, but outside of that, admissions is all done there. I'm going to open up the chat or the Q&A for a few more minutes. We seem to have gone through them all. I personally would like to thank you for coming. I look forward to seeing you all at the September orientation. Please set up your UCalgary email address when you get access to the Engineering Student Center D2L page. So the ESC D2L page, there's a lot of information on there. And we hope to be doing informational sessions throughout the next upcoming months. So watch your email for invites on that. Again, I'll open it up if anybody has any more questions. This is just the start of your journey. It may be a lot of information. And so you will get lots of stuff sent to you. Take the time to read through all the emails and the D2L page. And again, enginfo@ucalgary.ca is the great email to send to if you have any questions or kind of outside that information. So the sign up of the UCalgary email address is an IT support. So the same thing as I was saying, you can use the UCalgary website search like first year supports or IT supports, and it'll actually walk you through how to set up your email address. So there's two things. You have to set your email up address and then personally, however you access it. So if you're using whatever version of web mail you're using, you'll have to do that as well. And that's a personal decision. So, but start using the UCalgary and start including your UCID. Tell you a little bit more about the D2L, you bet. So most or all of your courses will be posted on desire to learn pages. So you're going to get very familiar with them very quickly. If you're not familiar, there are some programs that the university holds to show you some tips and tricks on the D2L. Okay. We also have other supports to help you with some seminars or workshops. So the Engineering Student Center D2L is a page that's going to be live for your entire time with us. While your courses may come and go through the fall and winter terms, your ESC D2L is going to be where all of our information is going to be posted, all of our contacts, some of these videos, etc. So it's a great resource to start reviewing. And ultimately, if you have any questions about engineering courses or Career Center, it will most probably be on our D2L page. And we hope students check that first and then they come to us if they can't find the information. So I hope that answered about the D2L. And
Just
we
one
talked
super
about
quick note to add on D2L. Because of the way the school is set up and because of when you become an active student in that internal program, because it is an inside platform that provides that information, you will not generally have access to D2L until August. So please don't consider that, a problem or anything. Any of this super relevant recording information, etc., is going to be hosted at that link that's at the bottom of the page that's currently showing on your screen, which is the Future Students Undergraduate FAQ page, where any recordings all the way throughout the summer, any content that we're putting up, the block information, anything along those lines is all attached to that list, and it will be organized into subsections, including things like orientation. So you'll be able to keep an eye there to see what upcoming details there are.
All right, I think we've, a big congratulations to our team that's on and Fatima for joining us and being an excellent host and MC for today. We've answered all of your questions. I'm sure there might be some burning ones later on when you start thinking about some things. So, and Jimfo at UCalgary, watch for your Common Core confirmation form. And I hope we get to see you all in the fall terms or over the summer months. So I'm going to sign off. So again, welcome to everybody and thank you for the team on this chat.